The Ghanaian elementary system is being run from grade 1 through to grade 6, whilst the American system is being run from grade 1. Hello, lovely people of this platform. This is your boy Jarvis once again in your video. People usually call me Big Jav. I want to use just a minute of your time to explain to you basically how the American classroom looks like. It has become necessary for me to talk about this because teachers that are aspiring to one day come to America and then, continue their teaching profession keeps asking how the American classroom basically looks like. Now, let's take a minute of your time, as I said, and let's go through everything. Before I zoom in, I want to take an opportunity to explain what we term as the K-12 system. The K-12 system is basically how the American educational system from elementary through to the high school is being structured. So it is being put in 3 categories: the elementary school, the middle school, and then the high school. It starts from grade 1 and then runs through to grade 12. That is what they term as the K-12 system. Now, the elementary comprises of grade 1 to grade 5 in most of the American schools. Some of them run to 6, but most of them are having grade 1 through to grade 5. And then the middle school starts from grade 6 through to grade 8. And the high school continues from grade 9 through to grade 12. So you could see the Ghanaian system is also the K-12 system, but the difference in here is that the Ghanaian elementary system is being run from grade 1 through to grade 6, whilst the American system is being run from grade 1 to 5. So the Americans are shortening a year of our elementary education. Both the United States and Ghana are having 3 years of a middle school education. Now let's check the high school. The Americans are running a K-9 to K-12 system, which means it comprises of 4 years of education, whilst the Ghanaian system is 3 years. So we Ghanaians are also shortening a year of the high school education compared to that of the Americans. So basically, since they are shortening one at the elementary and we are shortening one at the high school, we all come back to the 12-year system. So we are all running 12 years. It is then clear that during some era, when the Ghanaian system was used to a 4-year education system for the high school, it means we the Ghanaians were running a K-13 school education by then. That is so wonderful. So basically, when we talk about the K-12 education system of the Americans, that is how it looks like, or that is what it is. Now, let's zoom on to the subject of discussion. How does the American classroom look like? Teachers that are aspiring, waiting for their interview and aspiring to come here one day, this is a principal interview question. Principals or district officers or educationists that will be conducting interview can ask this question. You aspire to, come to America one day to teach. So definitely they know that as serious as you are, they are aware you've not been here before. But if you want to come to some place to make impact, you should know how the place looks like. So they're going to put that question to you. Now, how does the American classroom look like? The moment they realize that you have basically no idea about the American classroom, meaning you're telling them that you don't know whatever that is happening. And when you come into a discourse community with no idea about the community. In fact, it will become very difficult for you to survive. So it is necessary you research. Now the social media is quite useful. Chat is over there for you to use. The YouTube is over there. LinkedIn is over there. Facebook and a whole lot. So if you want to make inquiries, you have a lot of platforms to do that. Videos and everything are being displayed for people to watch and understand what is going on in the American classroom. Let me make it very snappy. When I am in the middle school, so I'm going to use the middle school system, this basically it cuts across, but there are some differences in respect to states, districts, and even per schools. But basically what I'm coming to talk of can be found almost in all these sections. But I'm using my middle school, which runs from grade 6 to grade 8, as an example. And my school in particular, what we do, that is what I'm going to focus on today. So when these students are coming to school, their main source of transportation is basically either the person is a walker, person walks from home to school, or a biker, or parents. Sometimes the parents bring their walks to school. So when school is about closing, they come back to pick them, or come by the transport system, the buses or those mini buses, whatsoever it is. So these are the sources of transportation that these school kids usually use when they are coming to school. And those that are being brought to school by their parents, most of the parents are also working. And what happens is that they go to work very early. Due to that, they are being forced to bring their kid to school or their kids to school very early as well. For instance, my school starts at 9:45. But if a parent starts work at 8, it means that student needs to be in school before 8 and then wait till the starting time, and then we zoom in together. So when students arrive early, they are being kept at one particular place in the form of any hall, like the cafeteria where they go for lunch, or any auditorium. And the administrators, some of them will be there to take care of these students till the time they will move into their classes. And that is where they usually take their breakfast before classes start. And when classes are about starting, an announcement will be made in the PH system that students are about to be released to their various homerooms. When I talk about homerooms, I'm talking about a particular room, which is a classroom, but not their first period class, where students are going there to watch the news, listening to announcements before the day starts. And when the announcement is made, students are released to their homerooms. Remember, examinations or tests are being written. Most of them, especially the state ones, are being written in their homerooms as well. So students will be released and they will move directly to their homerooms. They are aware where their homerooms are or who their homeroom teachers are. So they will move direct to that place. And when they are done with the news, with the announcements and everything, when the time is due, an announcement will be made again in the PH system, which will go everywhere, in all the classrooms, in all the hallways, in every hall in the school, even outside the school building. So it is clear, wherever you are, you will hear the voice of the announcement, and you need to go to where the announcement is telling you to move to. So now, when they are being released from their homeroom, they go direct to their period 1. That is the first period. So this is where the question starts proper. So as a teacher, as they coming in for the first period, from the beginning of the period to the end of the period, in my school, a period is made up of 45 minutes. So from the beginning of that 45 minutes to the end of that 45 minutes, what is going to happen? Or what are you going to do as a teacher in the classroom? Let's go. Now, what happens in the American classroom is that the moment students are being released from their homerooms and then they are coming to their classrooms, teachers are supposed to meet the students at the door. You don't sit inside for them to come in. No, no, no. You meet them at the door. Before you will meet the students at the door, what you need to do is to display the agenda, what the whole day activity is all about on the board. Part of your agenda should contain the resources that the students will need for the day's activity, like their notebooks, like their pens, their pencils, in case they will need colored pencils, in case they will need erasers, in case they will need, whatever they will need, it should be at the side of the agenda. Also, if you use seating charts or you keep on rotating students, you should also display your seating chart at one corner of the agenda. So as students, you are greeting students at the door, and as they are entering the classroom, they will know what to do. Remember, the American classroom is being run by rules and regulations. And what a teacher must do is that these rules and regulations must be consistently practiced at all times so that it becomes a routine. When I talk about a routine, it is something students can do with ease. Students know, more, tell them. When they are coming to the classroom, they know that this is where, after doing an activity, this is the bin I need to place my paper in. This is where, at the end of every week, I need to play my notebook for the teacher to grade. This is where, when we're doing group activities, group B members, this is where the table we usually sit on. So you let them know, you practice with them consistently, and it becomes a routine. So that it's like it doesn't bring chaos in the classroom. Or one day find time and then explain things to you about how basically the American classroom and those stuffs are the behavioral aspects of students and a lot. I'll find time and then speak about that as well. Let's move on. So as you've displayed this on the board, then you go outside your door, you wait for students. You greet them as they are entering. Some of them will come with a fist bump, some of them high five, some of them too. No, you greet them, they will not even respond. It's normal. They are tired in the morning. Students sometimes are just entering their first period, but they will tell you they are tired. So you need to leave them, leave them, give them their space, let them go inside. So when the time is due, the alarm will be played, and then teachers are supposed to close their door. So the moment the door is closed, then classes section starts proper. At this time, students are settled, they are seated based on your seating chart, and everything is in control already. You, the teacher, have set up your classroom. You always set up the classroom before the students enter. Yes, because the 45 minutes is not enough for you to use some of this time to be setting up your classroom. So everything is done before the students come in the classroom. Now, when you enter the classroom, the first thing you must do is to take attendance. And when you are taking attendance, you cannot leave the students to sit idle and then take attendance. That is one wonderful thing. Because when you leave these students to sit idle for a second, you're leaving them to one, socialize. You're leaving them to two, do their own things. You're leaving them to three, move about, and and let me tell you, the moment the beginning of your class is in chaos, it becomes very difficult for you to control them the entire period. That one is a must. When you set up your class in chaos at the beginning, it will be very difficult for you to bring them to track. You can't. It continues like that. So all you can do is to, attend to those that are listening to you, those that are in that chaotic mood, that are in their charm. When the chaos comes, it depends on some students. Those that are adrenaline has risen for that chaotic activities, there is nothing you can do to them again. So you leave them. So to prevent that, when you're taking the attendance, you put a short question on the board, an objective type of question, or a short answer type of question, or even a fill it in. You display it on the board and you tell students to do it. Some schools or some teachers call that warm up. Some call it bell work. Some call it bell ringer. any name that you used to call it is your own problem or is your own thing. The most important thing is, as you're taking attendance, students are working. And it will keep them busy for that 3-4 minutes you will use in taking your attendance. So when you finish taking the attendance, you spend a minute or two, and then you have discussion with your students as to what the correct answer is, who had it correct, and the reason behind that bell ringer or that bell work. Right after that, you zoom in direct to the day's activity. And in the day's activity, the classroom has already been set, as I said. You, the teacher or the instructor, has a maximum out of, at that time, let's say about the 40 or 30 something minutes left. You have a maximum of 10 minutes to spell out what the students are supposed to do that day. Remember, the American classroom focuses on a student-centered approach, not the lecture approach, not the teacher-centered approach at all. So you have just 10 minutes to briefly tell them what they are supposed to do. Then you leave them to work. You then serve as a facilitator. You go around. Some of them will be calling you to come and help them in case they are stuck at one particular point. But even not that, you, the teacher, serve as a facilitator who moves around from group to group, from student to student, and then you help them out to be able to complete whatever activity that they are doing that very day. So as students are moving on, questions will be coming, the teacher will be interacting with them, and since they mostly work in groups, since they are working in groups, some of them are so smart. So if some of them are finding difficulties, their colleagues are there to help them to do it. So the moment they will call you, it means it is above all the students, their standard or their strength. They are not able to figure it out what it means. And that is why you, the teacher, you are in the classroom to help. So you go there and then you help them. Right after everyone is done, you can have a summary within 2 to 3 minutes. And then you give something. At that time, it will be left with about 5 minutes for students to leave the classroom. So you give to them what we call exit ticket. They are about to exit your classroom, so they need a ticket to go. Mind you, this is not a ticket, a paper you're giving to them for them to leave the classroom. It's just a question. Now you're going to display on your smartboard as well a simple question based on the day's activity. You want to find out whether students really understood what they did that day. So they will put a question down and then they will try and solve it. You use a minute or two to have a discussion over the question, and that is the very time you will know whether you are supposed to repeat what you teach again or what you taught, or you're supposed to move on with what has been taught that very day. So after they are done with their bell work, remember I said the American classroom is being run by rules and regulations and routines, what students are supposed to do. So when students come in the classroom, there is a specific point you've already directed them to put their book bags or their backpacks. So when they are done with the exit ticket, they move direct to their backpacks, they pick them up, they come back to their sitting places, they pack all their supplies. They sit down, clean up their spaces, and they prepare themselves for the next period. When the time is due, the bell will ring again, and the moment they hear the sound of the bell, they know they are transition mode. So they will move direct from their first period to their second period. And you are done with your one period. So basically, that is how the American classroom looks like. The teacher meets the students at the door in summary. When you're moving in them at the door, you have your agenda on the board. When students come in the classroom, the teacher come, take attendance. In the process of taking attendance, students are told to something we call bell work. When they are done, a minute or two of instruction, of explanation, and then the teacher gives the day's instructions to everyone. When the instructions are being given out, the teacher serves as a facilitator going around to help students figure it out, especially those that are finding problems in solving the activity of the day. When students are done with the day's activity, if there are questions, they will ask. Teacher needs to clarify everything. When everything is done, then they need to attend to their exit ticket. After attending to their exit ticket, They move to their backpacks, pack, clean their spaces, and prepare themselves for the next period. The day is over for them. So if they came for science, they are done with science. Probably they move into history, or they move into the civic class, or they move into the ELA class, or the reading class. So transition continues. So that is it. That is how the American classroom looks like. And I know teachers that are preparing for their principal interview will be very, grateful for this insightful message that has been given out. You just have a summary in case you've been asked. You just give them the points as to the routine from the door through your activities to the end of the students exiting your classroom, and you're good to go. So have a great day, everyone, and see you another time with another video. In case you want to find out or you have a question about anything that has been said over here, you are free to put a question under the comment section, and I'll respond to that. If you have any question as well about American classroom or anything about American teaching education too, you can equally put it over there, and we will all judge all over it and make sure we all succeed. Guys, see you another time. Keep cheerio. It's Big Chav. Have a great day. Bye.